So, good evening, everyone. This is Omotayo, my digital lawyer, and we have here Sarah. We all the way from the United Kingdom, an in-house counsel, yes, an in-house lawyer. If you have followed her page, like I announced earlier, you'd have seen her legal content every other day. She's posting, telling us things about her perspectives from the in-house segment of law, her own career, her own area of law. In-house counsel, that's a lawyer that's for a company, right? If I'm correct, you are like an attorney to a company for businesses, okay? So I'll just leave her to tell you more about her career path. It's really important because I know I have entrepreneurs who are here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay, I know
fine,
we
yeah.
have entrepreneurs who are here and they'll definitely want to hire a counsel, a legal practitioner for their business. You don't just go about doing business transactions without having legal backup, right? So Sarah is going to tell us her own part of that business, how she helps businesses. Just please tell us what in-house counseling is all about. Thank you, Sarah. You're welcome.
Sure. Sure. Thanks so much.
Okay.
It's great to be
All
here.
right. I know. So hard.
Right. I think there's a bit of delay, but I'm sure we would be fine. So do you want me to perhaps introduce myself?
Yes, please. Yes, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, great.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So yes, I mean, as you were saying, obviously, my name is Sarah, and I'm based in the UK, in London, but I'm French, so I'm a French national, and I went to the UK. It was a couple of years ago, really, when I relocated from France to the UK, and
Okay.
so and yeah, I've been obviously graduating as a lawyer. I've qualified in France, and then I went, to start my career in the UK as an
In the
in-house
UK.
lawyer. Yeah.
Okay.
So background, I think there
Yes.
is a bit of
Perfect.
delay.
Okay.
So yeah. So what you would usually find with in-house lawyers is that obviously, as you were saying, they are employed by companies, right? So they are full-time
Yes.
employees or part-time employees, but they only have one client. So versus
Okay.
lawyers in private practice and law firms who have multiple clients that they
Multiple
advise.
clients. Yes.
That's the key difference between in-house and private practice. So obviously what
Okay.
I do, so I am employed. I have one client who is my employer, and I basically advise them on their day-to-day business. So what does that mean really is that when you
Okay.
are in-house lawyer, you very much handle the everyday legal requirements of the company, the everyday legal requests. So most of
Of
the
the
time,
company that hired you.
yes, that's right. Yeah. So you
Okay.
would usually have obviously contracts, right? So contract is usually what keeps in-house lawyers busy. So you would usually have commercial
Busy.
agreements. Yeah.
Okay.
So most of the time, 80% of the workload is commercial agreements and
Okay.
day-to-day legal advice, right? So, we are
Advice. Yes.
signing, yeah, legal advice. So we have obviously, contract with suppliers, contract with clients that need to be negotiated, etc. So that's very much what we
So
do.
you help them
Uh,
negotiate deals, of course. You help your clients negotiate deals, of course.
that's
Okay,
right.
that's great. So every
Yeah.
business owner definitely needs an in-house counsel. If you can afford one, you should get one, right?
Yeah, that's as you said, if you can afford, that's very much it has a cost, obviously, right? I mean, for a
Yes.
company to be able to afford an in-house lawyer full time or even part
Full
time,
time. Yes.
it's quite difficult. So usually you would find with smaller organizations, they usually go to law firms every now and then,
Yes.
whenever they have a very like business critical need. And
Yes.
then when they become, big enough or they have a sustainable amount of revenue, that's where they would, obviously want to save costs in the long run by having an in-house lawyer who does the day-to-day jobs.
Okay. So what has your experience been like, to be honest? Because I'm a private practice person, transactional lawyer. I do commercial law also, commercial corporate law, but private practice. So what has your experience been like? Because I see your post about in-house lawyer problems. Has it been so difficult, really?
I mean, what you obviously see on my Instagram and my social media page is very much I
Yes.
try to demystify the profession, and I try
Yes.
to make it a lot more engaging and and understandable from people from outside the profession.
Outside the
But
profession.
it's a very rewarding profession for multiple reasons. You really get your hands dirty when you are an in-house lawyer. You look after the day-to-day. There's nobody else to look after the day-to-day.
Look
It
after
has to
it.
be
It's your
you.
job. Yes.
That's your job.
Okay.
And your job is to find solutions. You are not paid to say no. You are paid to find a way
To find
forward.
solution.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a whole
So
lot
you
of
are
work.
exactly. So you really go, you have a closer relationship to your client, to your employer, obviously, because, I mean, if you can't find a solution today, the same person who asked you the question would come back to your door tomorrow and, and so on. So you really have to make it work. So
Okay.
that's the, yeah, solutions driven, etc.
All right. Thank you so much. That's interesting, I suppose, somehow. So basically, from what you have said so far, I don't think there's a jurisdictional difference. I want to believe what works for you there in the UK is what works here, because I have some colleagues who are also in-house counsel, in-house lawyers, and they have practically the same experience as what you have shared. So whether business owners are in the United Kingdom or in France or in Nigeria, wherever it is, definitely you can't just get into these deals yourself without an attorney. So rather than go to law firms day in day out when there are critical issues, I think it's okay, like I mentioned earlier, if you can afford one, to get your own attorney. So I think that may be cost effective for the business owners. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think so? Maybe cost effective, right?
It is cost effective in the long run.
In the
Absolutely.
long run. Okay, so I believe we'll have some law students or a couple of law students here. So what career options can they explore from your experience? And what would be your advice? So that's like a two-way question in one.
Yeah, sure. So I think I personally, even after law school, I
Yes.
knew that I wouldn't go to a law firm. I just knew that,
Okay.
yeah, I just knew it because I knew my personality was very different to the
Yes.
majority of lawyers, and I wanted to be closer to the business. I really like the idea of doing business and practicing
Business.
law at the same
That's
time.
that makes it two of us.
Yeah, so that's to me that was the reason why I was, when I came across the in-house legal way of, practicing, I was like, that's more me. That's more, I want to dive in, to the day-to-day business. I don't want to, read, court cases all day long and be on top of the technical side of the law. I want to really leverage, law and my skills to serve business needs. I need to
Okay.
have a business purpose in what I do. So I think
Okay.
obviously that's the reason why I went, to become an in-house lawyer. So
In-house lawyer.
if you are
Okay.
a law student, I would definitely say, if you are more, ask yourself the question, do you like the pure practice of law and
Yes.
diving into multiple and different legal issues, or are you more a person who you know is okay with law but really wants to use it in a particular context and become a subject matter expert in a particular industry? So
Okay.
that
So
would
you
be
have to
for me,
decide. You have to
that
think through that.
that would be the key differentiator. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Is there any other
Sure.
thing you'd like to say before I take questions? Because I can see a question here already. Can you see the question from your
Yeah.
end?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
So,
Let's take some questions.
okay. All right. This is the entertainer's lawyer. Have you ever had situations where you gave legal advice to your employer which really didn't turn out to work in their favor? If yes, how did you remedy the situation? Did you get that? Do I come again?
That's a great question. So
Okay.
it's all about the positioning. So really, you really, in terms of your job, you are not here to, the legal team, in-house lawyers don't make legal decisions for the business, right? So the company makes those
Okay.
decisions. So at the end of the day, you know, we are not oracles, and we don't know the future. And all we can do is, you know,
Yeah.
advise on the way forward based on, you know, the risk appetite of the organization. So really,
Okay.
it doesn't really happen to have a situation where you give a legal advice, but it doesn't happen, because at the end of the day, you really help the company making a decision. But the company will always be the
Okay.
one taking the full responsibility, and not the in-house lawyer. The in-house
Not the
lawyer will be like,
in-house
okay,
lawyer.
this is, that's right. The company will be like,
Okay.
you know, this is the situation, you know, this is oh, the in-house lawyer would be like, this is the situation, these are the risks,
Yes.
these are my recommendations, you know, do you want to move
Yes.
forward, yes, no, and if yes, these are the risks, and if no, then we have to think about another option. But
Okay.
you very much have to position yourself as an advisor. You don't make decisions.
Okay. Okay, just advise, recommend that they do this. So
That's right.
that way you absolve yourself of any liabilities, sort of, if they occur, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
we don't take any liability. I mean, unless we were being negligent, I guess. But I mean,
Yes. Okay.
outside of that, that would be the company's responsibility. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me see if I have. Did we answer your question, the entertainer's lawyer? I suppose she's the only one that has asked the question so far.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it. I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Sarah. And if we have further questions, I hope you'll be able to answer. I'll probably send you a DM, or they can send you a DM. But then, if it has to do with legal consultation, they'll pay fees, of course, right?
I don't, I mean, obviously, I don't, I only have one client, and that's my employer. So
Yes,
for you
yes, yes.
guys who want to work in-house, that's something to really bear in mind, is that you will be only working for one client, and that's
One
your
client.
employer.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
one client and just that income from just that client, right?
Yeah, that's right. So you are paid a salary. So you wouldn't necessarily be paid,
Okay.
you know, per tasks or
Per
whatever.
contract. So
You're
you
not
may
paid per
draft as much
contract.
as, oh my God.
You are not paid.
All right.
I wish in-house lawyers were paid per
Oh,
contract, but it doesn't happen.
it doesn't happen that way. Okay.
Oh
All
no.
right. Thanks. Wow, that's interesting. All right. Thanks so much for your time. You can follow her, Very Lawyer Problems, especially for law students, lawyers. They are relatable memes, relatable content. You'd really love it. Absolutely. You love every one of them. That was how I found you. I found your content so relatable. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing, regardless of the jurisdiction. So if you have further questions, you may send to my DM, particularly for those who are not able to join in real time. If you get to watch this when I share as an IGTV, if you have further questions, you can send a DM, and I hope Sarah will be able to answer your questions. Thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Sarah, for your time. Have an amazing evening. Talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right. Talk
And thanks
soon.
to our viewers for joining in. Thank
Yeah,
you. Bye.
definitely. Thank you. Take
Okay.
care.